So they'll be calling you a radical. So I see all the half-nukers are out panty painting Fukushima. The usual suspects, the Fukushima deniers from the beginning. Why? Well, that's where the money's at. I mean, come on, let's get real. You're a fear porn specialist. You know, they're all selling survivalist gear. When it's fear porn, oh, there's big money in it. Look at the big Z. They're all worried about a freaking meltdown in Ukraine, but they won't talk about the one that happened, the biggest and the first one in human history, because there's no money, because the American populace can't handle the truth. They don't want the truth. They're scared to death of it, and they're tied to AdSense accounts. So if you start talking Fukushima in a reality way, your view count goes way down. They kettle you, and people are like, "Oh, I can't watch that because America's this culture." The old USA. Now America's a weakling culture. And that's unarguable. You know, so this whole thing that China is banning all aqua products from, no shit, China's banned them from day one. Europe has banned them from day one. The Fukushima produce, the Fukushima products, the Fukushima fish, you know, the Pacific fish, the fleet has been banned all over the world since the day Fukushima happened. Not here, remember Hillary's emails? Got to go talk to Henry before I go to... I'm the guy that leaked those out. So you got all these, you know, they got big YouTube sets counts. Look, in the volume, I mean, these guys that are doing panty paint pictures, the same Fukushima deniers that were there in the beginning. That's where the money's at. There's no money in telling the truth. There's no money in the Fukushima route. People can't handle the truth. They don't want the truth. They're not interested in the truth. I've learned because they can't handle it. What, Fukushima? So you're trying to tell me full-blown out nuclear meltdowns. They never got near these cores. Never got near these cores to these days. And now they're reporting Fukushima. You know, it's all over the media now, the water tank and the fogs. So, come on. They haven't said Fukushima in 4,556 days. In well over 12 years. I've reported it every single day in hardcore detail. And you're going to deny the fact that there was rockfish caught in May, before they supposedly started dumping the tank waters, with 18,000 becquerels of cesium-137. It only comes from nuclear fission. Last year in 2022, 40 kilometers off out into the Pacific Ocean, into the current, they caught them with 1,400 becquerels, 14 times over the raise limit. You're going to deny that. You're going to deny the KLK study in 2012 or 2011, June, even Bueller's name's on it, that said that 1,000 times the background levels of cesium-137 into the water column. In 2011, 40 miles out, 30 kilometers down. I'll post the links. I'm the guy that's put them all out there. It blows my mind, the denial. So Fukushima, come on, China's had a, look, there's some great videos, I'll try to find them. They got out in the early days of protesters in 2013, 14, 15, 16 in China, protesting the nuclear industry in their own place, and they're chanting, you can hear them chant Fukushima. Believe it or not, the activists in China have fought back all over Asia. They've been fighting intensely the whole time, fantastically. The media just doesn't cover it here. They're not called, come on, the media. And the YouTube bloggers, they went to them all. You know, I won't name them by name because I don't even want to give these pieces of shit credibility. But one of them was at the Million Mass March and made up all kinds of lies on me and slandered me, you know, that's out there now. Where's your soup can? Too much shit in your bag again. I think you lost your soup can. Did I? Oh, no, there it is. No. We'll go baseball instead today. So it's a blue moon. And I should be on the ocean. I'm always on the ocean on these incredible cycles. I've been telling Weber State, you're so pro-nuclear. Why don't you just turn this into a spent fuel pool? You know, because they're funding NuScale. Yay, yay, NuScale. So, this is an important historical video. Really, all my videos are historical. You're not going to get any view count if you're talking Fukushima. They're going to kettle you. So they went, I mean, these fear porners, look at the fear porners, all of them out there, what they sell. They're survivalists. You know what that shit, the markup on that shit is? Your water filters, your bunkers, your food supplements. The markup is fuck, it's 1,000%. And they're selling it. They're hawking it. You know, it got proved in the Alex Jones trial. I mean, Alex Jones was asked twice about Kevin. Why won't you have Kevin Blanch, the Fukushima actor? Because they were all about the fill porn and selling stuff and getting filthy, stinking rich. Why they're putting my Tide Pool videos, all these fear porners put my Tide Pool videos all over their websites. And then right under my videos, they'd have, buy your survival gear. And they knew I was in critical condition. They knew I was fighting for my life. They knew I was walking the ocean doing all the freaking work. They knew I had no money because, you know, I was uninsured when I got cancer and I forked over my $1 million worth of stock. They knew that. They never sent me 5 cents. None of them. So let's go back to Fuku. Oh, God. It's unbelievable. You know, the historic pond. By the way, you can't make this up. I live 10 miles from here, out there in the beautiful place. The dirt that's coming from here, I had nothing to do with it. Being dumped right across the street from my house. I mean, life is nothing but circles, some bigger than others. So, you know, people can panty paint, say, so you're trying to tell me the 3 full meltdowns, they never got near the cores. Like Bird himself, the cleanup freaking guy, is admitting on all this now. You know, so the PM of Japan's, I'm eating it, it's delicious. The new Madame Curie, if you don't know about Madame Curie was a denier. They're all deniers. It blows my mind the karma these people are putting on themselves, covering for this. These so-called experts. I've said it for years. Let them brand themselves in history. Go ahead. These YouTube freaking bloggers and so-called counterculturists. Oh, please. Please, they're bootlickers. You know, they freaking took the bait. Not me. You know, if you're contemporary and you're in vogue, and you know, and by the way, I'm not a YouTube blogger. I mean, I had multiple radio shows in the day, Fukushima, millions of. I invented the Million Mass March. Me and John Anthony Perry. 7 million people. It was rooted in the Fukushima meltdowns and the cover-up. Listen to the inaugural speech. Listen to it. You know, I'm an activist that wins. You know, blue moon. It's a blue moon today, and by the way, football season opens here at Nuclear U on our new field. Guess this. You don't think I'm an activist that wins? You know how hard I pushed for Trevon Smith, who was beat to death in a jail cell. 29th, the greatest football player ever. They won't speak his name. They blackball. I'm friends with the president of this university, who I really like, Brad, and he's an expert. I've been in his ear. I'm like, listen, Brad, you have to freaking get this guy. You've got to override all these guys. You have to get him in the Hall of Fame and retire him. So he came to me the other day and he says, you did it, Kevin. I said, I did what? Another accomplishment by you. They're going to put him in. And that's your doing. Yeah, the great influencer and a great activist like Kevin Blanchard, you're never going to get credit. Nobody's going to say, oh, you did this. You changed the world, and they don't even know you changed the world because you penetrated the subconscious. Me using the lyrics, the style that I've done, the form that I've done was to cause recall. I'm a communications guy. I know what I'm doing. I taught the communication class, figurative speech, lucid lyrics. I used to write fuck on the board, and I would teach students about figurative speech versus literal speech. Literal speech is against the law. You know, you can't threaten somebody. You can go like this, though. Fuck the nuclear industry. But you can't threaten a person. Of course not. Come on. That used to be logic, common sense. It's just like the logic and common sense. Let's see. It took me 1.5 years to convince anybody there were 3 meltdowns. These same people that are all over now are doing Fukushima denial on they're dumping the radiation. It's safe. Some of these fear porners or whatever, the exact same people that were telling me I was full of shit, they weren't meltdowns. I mean, it took me 1.5 years. They're all saying it's not. It's hydrogen blasts. Now it's perfectly verified exactly what Kevin Mike said all those years. 3 full core meltdowns, 8 spent fuel pools, including mine. You're telling me that for every action, there's a reaction in science. I'm a scientist. What I've done, first you hypothesize the knowledge. By the way, Shichi's birthday, on his 18th birthday in San Diego, I did that call, you know, in the NFL, and I don't buy their new slave made gear. I call them the new Bob Hayes Lightning. I have a friend in New Orleans, a thrift store, and I called her and I said, you got a real game winning? Yeah, this is a game winning Saints jersey. You know, he changed his number back to 22, the new Bob Hayes. Give me $10. You know how much I got this for? And Trevon Smith wore this. This is one of his damn good. $5 they're supposed to show. He's like, no, Kevin. You get that one free. I love it. So he's eating the, and he says it's safe and delicious. Okay. Obama did the same thing. This is the same routine that has gone on the whole time. Trump did it. You know, everybody that goes to there, you know. Kennedy was the ambassador during the Fukushima year. The Prime Minister of Japan, we know, was Abe. We know what happened to him blows my mind, by the way. But he was not the Prime Minister when Fukushima happened. Nato Khan was, who's a fierce anti-nuker. Remember the polls when this new election was happening for this guy who just got in? He was down by like 15, and it was an anti-nuker that was running. Well, we know how. People don't even know that Japan is the 51st state in the United States. The United States runs everything in Japan. It's called Yalta by the Sea. Obama, the only thing he true said was these treaties were signed long before I was born. World War II. Stalin, Churchill, FDR, before FDR dropped dead, divided up the world. Stalin took all of Eastern Europe and half of Germany. We took half Germany and Japan. The United States has total control of Japan. Blake Barrett's out there telling you to your face now, the cover-up guy of 3 Mile Line. He's telling you right in your face. It took them, 2,888 days to tell you kept lunch 1 hour. Leslie Stahl. Well, cleaning these nuclear, where are these melted cores? See those holes? They're burrowed in. We don't know where they're at. I mean, it proved, as I named Delmar Argentina syndrome, I mean, it's so illogical, it's burrowed into the mantle, into the Pacific. Hello, we get typhoons. By the way, Barack Obama, who told the biggest lie in human history, on March 17th, 2011, stood in the Rose Garden and said, talk Fukushima. Says the scientists tell us that the plume is coming over us right now. It's safe. He was flown to South America. And we know Radnet was taken offline immediately by Gina McCarthy in 2011. What's Radnet? I've reported this in hardcore. This is the greatest PhD. The tide pool work, I'd be on the tide pools right now, but I had the test done on my new pacemaker and my heart. People are calling me. One of the good activists in Jersey, one of the good old bloggers called me and says, yeah, I haven't been following you for the last couple of years. I didn't even know about your heart attack. I had my heart ripped out. I've got a human cadaver, another person's air root in my body now. My perfectly good heart. It's a birth defect. I was born with my father nuked to death in a Nevada test set. You're telling me there's no byproduct from 3-4 coal mine that's buried, it's never happened. It didn't happen at Chernobyl. One graphite core reactor blew up at 780,000 men entombed, including mined underneath it. Paid the price. Not a Fukushima, 3 full core meltdowns. Or this is the most overwhelming thing in the world. They're trying to tell you, this is just a 7. Chernobyl, the worst thing. Fukushima, they're both 7. Who sets a scale from 1 to 7? IAEA. Oh my God. So let's get out Coco and Fufu. Okay, so I named him Fuku, the trash fish, the rock fish. You're just a trash fish. He's cool, right? He's really cool. And then, of course, Coco, the San Diego, well, he's really cool. He looks awful small. Oh, he's starving to death. So the tide pools, the starfish, they all feed on the same thing. The soup, we call it in the ocean. It's all that essence of life that we all evolved from. I used to call it the cloud in my class back in the days where I got blackballed. Things are changing. Fuku, you're looking a little mutated. You're looking awful skinny, Coco. What happened? Well, my cousins, they caught off the coast of Fukushima, Japan, in May before they started supposedly dumping the tank water. They've got 18,000 becquerels of cesium-137. In their flesh. What about you? Well, we're all sucking up, starving to death because Fukushima broke the chain. They started dumping it in immediately into the ocean. The energy. We have water that flows out there called typhoons. You think they caught all the water? Oh my God. And it blows my mind that they're reporting this now. When China's been protesting all over, looking up these protests all over Asia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea. I mean, massive. Look at the protests in Europe. How was that? Fuck, look at our great protests of the IAEA, what, just like 2 years ago. How grand was that? I mean, all these protests that, you know, in Vienna, and look at the protests in Germany. Angela Merkel's a nuclear physicist. You're denying Oppenheimer himself. And I love how we worship that dirtbag. Easy, Fuku. When Fukushima happened, they had 20 nuclear reactors, including a brand new one, which was going the most state-of-the-art in the world, almost ready to go on. That's it. Oppenheimer, in his own words, said if the German nuclear physicists wanted the bomb first, they would get the bomb first. They're the best nuclear physicists on the face of the earth. Where do you think Einstein came from? He was the greatest, the anti-nuclear. He knew full well the Germans weren't interested, didn't want it. He dropped it anyway. But the best nuclear physicists on the face of the earth are in Germany. They shut the nuclear energy reactors down, all of them. That's it. One word. You go to Germany, one word. When you come up, it's like when at CLP and all these different conferences and everything, these, you know, greenwashing machines, they prop up any young person they can find, whatever, these greenwashing. Listen, I mean, I remember when they were doing it, the one guy stood up and says, Fukushima's not killed anyone. And there's the German contingency over there, and you could see them laughing at the UN. They're laughing. I'm there in Austria, in Italy, in Spain. Go to Italy and tell them that Fukushima never killed anyone. Remember when the nuclear industry tried to roll back in there? What the mob did to them in 2020? I mean, come on. The whole world is banned. Europe had it all banned. The whole world's had freaking everything for Fukushima the whole fucking time. Not here in the United States. Remember when the first, and I reported this in detail every single day. When Fukushima happened, Hillary's emails, I'm the guy that leaked them out. Got to go talk to Henry before we go to Fukushima. She was Secretary of State, bringing on the food. That's when they killed the food inspection. You think that's a coincidence? Remember in the first budget debate going to shut down the government? That was in, April 2011, March 2011. Yeah. Going to go have a cup of coffee with Gaddafi. You know, so, shiny ballism. I says, well, they need a sacrificial lamb in these multi-billion-dollar. Not ask what you can do for your country. Ask what you can do for your country. Remember Caroline Kennedy on the 50th anniversary and her son made statements about Fukushima at Fukushima. They were there. She was the ambassador. And they were anti-nuclear. It blows my mind the karma people are throwing on themselves. You don't think it affects you? You think your money's going to save you? I'm here to tell you. You're fools. Fuku, Coco. Well, when there's Fukushima broke the chain. Fukushima killed my food, Fuku. We too, from the, what did the California Upper Purple urchin say to the 60,000 pound starving to death humpback whale? Fukushima killed my food. We're plankton feeders. Think about how much plankton they suck a day. They're not killer whales. Of course, they're freaking starving to death because the Chinook crabs. That's the smoking gun of Fukushima. Kevin Blanch's historic. Look, I don't do hyperbole. I don't do spin. I don't have an AdSense account. I don't have a YouTube. I mean, I rely on grassroots freaking sponsors. You know, it's been lean, but I've done it. I get by with a little help from my friends. Imagine. And so, I don't do opinion. I do science. First you hypothesize knowledge. Then you have to do the field work to try to prove my hypothesis. They're going to push this into the Pacific Ocean. It's going to break the eco chain. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the western United States. It's going to cause the greatest drought. All this that came true. First is going to go the sea stars. And the typo is going to collapse first. Which they did 2012, 2013. Wasting disease. What's wasting? In an acute radical fashion. Not, well, global warming, but Fukushima is global warming. It didn't go like this. It went. And the salmon, we don't catch dead typos. Kevin Blanch does. We don't catch humans in bone marrow transplants. Oh, Kevin Blanch does. He was almost one of them. We count every single salmon. all the way from the Kenai to, all the way down to the Fraser, the Nushkak. God, you should see. So I said, the steelhead live in the sea. They go to sea 1 to 2 years. They'll collapse immediately off the cliff. I said, the Chinook salmon will not collapse until 2016. We had record returns in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, to the point in 2015 on the Columbia, on the Bonneville, the old Chief Joseph's, we had close to 3 million if you use the catch and the takeout, 1 point, almost 5 million over the sonar. That was after the catch, after the netting, which is 50%. And so, big beast. We had the live cam. Army Corps Engineers crashes the live cam. I put all the evidence, and I says, will you believe me when they crash in 2016? Why? They go to sea on average 5 years. Smoking gun Fukushima. They crash it. They're just down 90, 95%. Kenai, Nushkak, Fraser, the mighty Columbia. Oh my God, you see the rogue numbers, the shoots, the Jedediah Smith. Jedediah Smith doesn't have any deaths. They're dying at sea. We know that's an acute radical crash. Fuku, what happened, Coco? Fuku, what happened, Coco? Fukushima killed my food. We too, from the sea. Kevin D. I fight for her, she fights for me. Remember, I was given 2 months. I've done all this historic working. I've been in critical condition the whole time. 12 years. We were talking about it last night, looking at the blue moon at the game, rising up over the Mount Eye. It was so beautiful. It was breathtaking. Once in a blue moon. And the reason I know it's Rashid's birthday, it's my beautiful, incredible, amazing San Diego daughter. That girl that was cradled on the beach in the sea the night John Lennon was JFK, John Lennon, blown away. It's been reeling out of control. The nuclear industry are the untouchables. If you don't believe they're the untouchables, you're not paying attention. How about in Ohio? The bribes. I'm going house to house trying to block all these bribes. Kevin Blanch, Spidey. I'm all over the country, and they're bribing. Larry Householder, the lead politician in Ohio, goes to he's doing 20 years in an Oklahoma prison for taking the bribes. What about the bribees? First Energy Solution Stadium, go Browns. What about them? It takes 2 to 10. What about the bribe? I got the threatening emails. I was involved with all that. I fought him in every one of these houses. Status King Cuomo. Remember when I made this in Vienna? Me and Sandra. I stand at the Black Box. I'll be there hopefully in late September. I really should be back in school. Remember I used to wear my little black dresses in front of the Epstein MoMA? Now that's been all outed. It's Rashid's birthday today. What a story his is. But we got Trevon Smith, what they did to him. So, President of the University. It's true how accomplished you are, Kevin. It's pretty amazing. First person in the history of this university. Well, I got nominated for the alternative Nobel Prize in Vienna. I probably would have won it, but Frieda Eisenblau, who I was very connected with, was at her house on the 200th anniversary of one of the greatest anti-nuclear activists ever, who prepped me. She nominated me. She said it was a Green Party over there, because they have a real Green Party over there. This went all over the country. And they bailed them out. Throw money at them. Not in Germany, not in Austria, not in Italy. They tried to refire them up in Italy. That didn't go out so good. Not in Spain, not in Denmark, not in Africa, not in Asia. Everybody, oh yeah. Yeah, we got all this nuclear going on in China. No, you don't. China was supposed to have these generational 5 mock fast breeders, 1 a month going on starting in 2012. They put 1 on near Hong Kong, and remember it had some kind of radiation nightmare, just a leak, whatever. Look it up. The intimate radiation fallout letter was sent to Jennifer Granholm, Department of Energy, by law. I know international law. International law, you have a radiation. The French, who were building that, of all people, they sent the letter out, and she sat on it and didn't disclose that to the American populace, which is against the law. Somebody leaked it to CNN in the middle of the night. They went up there. I wonder who that was. Go on. They've had it banned the whole time, all of it. They haven't put shit on China. The propaganda we get fed by this media, it proves who controls this country, the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. CIA, NSA, CFR, the three branches of government. They don't illuminate, they radiate. And get on the winning team. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, because it's a death trap. Useful idiots. It's a suicide trap. You think you're on the winning, yay, Fukushima denial thing. Fukushima denial is a death sentence. Fukushima denial is the greatest mental illness in human history. So we're afraid of nuclear meltdowns until they happen. Then it's see no nuclear energy, speak no nuclear, hear no nuclear energy, smell no nuclear energy evil. You know, you're just going to go along with this dog and pony shit. Not the rest of the world. It's just here. And it just proves who runs the media. Well, they're the untouchables. You know, Barack Obama on Jimmy Kimmel, right before he left office. We can talk about dumbing down in America. Where's Johnny Carson when you need him? And he says, do you ever get calls at 4 o'clock in the morning? This is a question a little kid would answer, like a first grader would ask. No shit, he's the fucking president of the United States. The buck stops where? Yeah, of course, yeah, I get called. Did it ever happen? Yeah. Like, you got an example? Yeah, like when Fukushima happened. Jimmy Kimmel. This is right before 2016. What's Fukushima? Barack Obama. You know, the typhoon. I asked Trump from here or there. You're going to talk about Fukushima, you're going over there, and it's on Fox News, so like I'm yelling at him. He's right over there, you know, with this contingency. Trump, he looked right over at me. Yes, did he? He met with a bee 17 times, including car fire on the golf course, Mar-a-Lago blackout. What do you think they're talking about? The fucking golf game? Unbelievable. Go to Dr. Henry. So, we've got it the whole time here. There's no food inspection process in the United States. We have no freaking idea the origin, none of it. Breaking news, fish swim. I'll post the links like I always put. You can deny the science. You can deny the KLK study. You can deny all the reality of the studies. You can deny Kevin Blanch's scientific work on the tide pools at Blue Moon on Thursday. Once in a blue moon, a guy like Kevin Blanch comes around. Express PhD in you. And the rest of you, you're nothing but Madame Curie. You know, Madame Curie, scientist? What did they use her up? She was a Fukushima denier. You do know what happened to her. You do know that. By the way, she's from Ukraine. You do know what happened to her. Go in denial. It's a tough subject matter. I understand that. But you can't be weak. We got to be strong. You know, and so the fight goes on. What a project this has turned into. Holy Jesus, what a long video. But it has to be said. Don't fall for this shit because the media is reporting it now. China's had everything banned the whole time. This has been a major issue in that part of the world. Like I said, go talk to somebody in Germany. Go talk to somebody in Austria. Talk to them in Italy. Talk to them in Spain. Talk to them in Denmark about Fukushima. Talk to them in Taiwan. Talk about them in Hong Kong. Talk to them in China. Talk to them in, Korea. Talk to them, they've been fighting back the entire time. I mean, massive, incredible. Talk to Kevin Blanch. 7 million people on Remember the 5th of November. That's 10 years. Come on. Gave the speech, Fukushima. 7 million we had. What was their answer? To go after Kevin Blanch. Hire teams of trolls. There was dozens of YouTube sites and Facebook pages. Most of them are gone now. When I had the field, I had 3 radio shows. Not Coast, oh God. UCY-TV, I'm their #1 show. What was their answer? To slander me. To go after, call me, including these guys that are covering now. I won't even say their names. They slandered me. They lied about me. Well, I'm in critical condition. Call me sociopath. Call me every name in the book. I'm the son of a Special Forces Marine who gave his life. Nuke death in the United States. I've done nothing but give myself away my whole life. I'm educated as it fucking gets. The #1 school of business in the United States. I was the student professor there for years. I was the guy. I did the due diligence on these Mach 1 Mach. This is the university that built the reactors. Hello, don't you understand that? The money, the stadium is named after them. This is who built the Mach 1 Mach 2s. Right here. I'm in the belly of the beast. So, we fight on. So the media wants to report that China is fighting back. Now, they've been fighting back the whole time. The whole world has, except for North America. And we tried. I mean, we tried. I tried. And by the way, I'm not a YouTube vlogger. You know, I'm an activist. Yeah, of course, I'm the activist. But I'm the scientist. I mean, first you apologize, then you do the field work, then you defend your work. And if it becomes a new, I'm the new Semmelweis. If you don't know about Semmelweis and germ theory, in Vienna. You know, wash your hands, doctors. The whole world, I mean, they went after him so hardcore, you're blasphemy, blah, 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 blah. He proved it. He proved it for 10 years. I proved it for 12. They beat him to death in a freaking, threw him in a mental institution. Said he was that crazy that there were little invisible germs flying through the air and doctors need to wash their hands. He says, that's blasphemy. You're insane. Okay. Kevin Blanch, Plutonium. Oh, that's insane. I can't even say where I think the demic came from. I can't say anything, whatever. Because their answer is just to slander me and to go after me and attack me. When I've done nothing but told the truth and done the greatest PhD in human history, you know. But, as I said at the White House, did you ever believe that the truth would be classified? Did you ever believe that the truth would be so hard to tell? Did you ever believe that just simply tell the truth, they would put you in jail, they would attack you, and to lie still? And did you ever believe that the media would turn into this? I don't know. What if I told Weber Stay, I've been telling them all these I have a big voice around here nowadays. Of course, I always did, but they kind of didn't believe me. They believe me now. They're like, everybody around here is all over Fukushima. And every place I go, people come right up to me. Everywhere I go, and I have so much respect now. And they're like, people in Utah know, especially here in Ogden, and they all know because they've had Kevin Blanch the whole time. And they'll come up and tell you. They'll come up, boy, you were right the whole time, Kevin. There's a greenwashing bus. So they've been dumping the whole time. And, you know, the prime minister, Nato Khan's a fierce anti-nuclear. He was prime minister. They forced him out. He came right up to me in Del Mar, California and bowed to me and told me, Kevin, thank you for all your... Go ask Kathy Iwani. You know, without Kathy and myself, she was in Japan. That's how we got sent on for shut down. Go ask Rachel Godoy. She was living there. Her and I put out all that data. Remember we did those videos on June 6th on the 50th anniversary of Bobby Kennedy? Remember those down there at Tourmaline, 40,000 views? Her compiled data that she researched and did for all those years? She had to flee. I mean, they tried to get her. You know, so you can ignore the real science. Kevin Blanch, you can go ahead and ignore it all you want, but I do the science. I'm not hyperbole spin. And, you know, you've all you half-nukers and all you phonies have branded yourself in history. I think it's criminal. I think all the university professors, I'm butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a fisherman, what's a fucking boat? I'm a zoologist, I'm a biologist, I'm a high school science teacher, I'm a university science teacher, I'm a history professor. What's the Enola Gay hangar? What's Fukushima? You know, the fact that Sudoku's very own niece presents me with a folded paper crane and says thank you at the Enola Gay hangar and no Utah media shows. Think about that. Think about that. I mean, the activists that I've done, well, probably the most accomplished scientist and activist in modern history, Kevin Blanch. As I said right there, don't believe them, they're lying. These are full-blown about it's going to break the eco chain. Not going to happen, it happened. I was right the whole time. All new great knowledge will be persecuted. Kevin Blanch, March 12, 2011. Standing right there. What an evolution, the pond. Dumping the dirt next to my house. What's the odds of that? I don't own that ground. I have nothing to do with it. It's just, life is full of circles. It's nothing but circles. I got sick 12 years ago. Some are bigger than others. China's had it's just the media wants to report it now. I mean, come on, man. Stay in tune.